Hey guys, it's the Pink King here. Welcome back to Jurassic June. As always, if you're new here, then go watch my first video on the series. You'll understand what I'm trying to do here and what is going to be happening throughout the series. So go watch that and come right back. Today, it's time to cover the most controversial movie in the entire Jurassic franchise. A film that was so chaotic in its impact that it took 14 years for another film to be made. Yes, we are talking about Jurassic Park 3. And today, I've got just one question as always. Is it that bad? First off, let's start with some essential things we need to know. This movie was the first to not be directed by Steven Spielberg, with directing duties going to Joe Johnston. But that wasn't the only first, as this movie was also the first one to be made without a book to be based off. So already we've got two really interesting factors that definitely affect this movie. But before I talk about that, what's the movie about? It stars the return of Alan Grant as he is recruited by a wealthy couple, the Kirbys, to go on an expedition to Isla Sorna, only for them to get stranded when the big bad dinosaur of this movie, Spinosaurus, destroys their plane, leading to the Kirbys being revealed to actually be there on a rescue mission for their son, who went missing on the island a few weeks ago. Once they find him, it's now a race to get off the island while avoiding all new threats and old threats they might face. Now, before I even mention it, can you already see how stupid this movie is? This movie really is just so dumb. The whole reason they get Alan to the island is so stupid. He's brought on as a navigator first off. If he had been on Isla Sorna instead of Nublar, what makes you think a guy who's only been on the island for 3 days at most would know the layout in and out and all the dinosaurs on the island? Why not try and find, I don't know, a former InGen employee, a worker, someone who's actually been on the island for a while? I'm sure, considering these movies, it wouldn't be that hard to find, especially for people like the Kirbys, who've given so much to look for someone. Like, surely it wouldn't have been that hard to find someone with a detailed understanding of how the island works and what's on it. To me, it's just very stupid logic. And if you need to do something this fundamentally stupid just so your plot can happen, then it's not a very good setup. Also, not to mention, this is once again a escape the island story. Sure, it's got the element of rescuing, but that's pretty much dumped midway through the movie. So just like the first one and the second one, it's the same recycled base without an understanding to why it worked in the first one. Now, something that is very noticeable is the island itself. They set it on Isla Sorna again, just like the previous movie. But it looks nothing like that island. Those gorgeous redwoods and more foresty landscape is now swapped out for the jungle again. It feels so jarring considering it looks more like Nublar than it does Sorna. So all you're doing is creating confusion. All you had to do to correct this issue was to say it was on Nublar, and suddenly two things make more sense. The fauna makes sense, and even the story makes a little more sense, as it's why they got Alan, as Alan has been on Nublar, not Sorna. Don't get me wrong, it still isn't a good reason, but at least it would make more sense. The characters here are also the absolute worst. Other than Alan, they're all either forgettable or annoying, and that's so frustrating because you had some real potential here, like the Kirbys. They could have been something really new and interesting, an insight into parents desperately trying to find their son, but instead they just end up being annoying or forgettable. But of course, we have to talk about the dinosaurs, and man, this pisses me off, man. Because you know what, I really appreciate what they did here, despite them being lazy and reusing everything else. At least they tried to switch it up with the dinosaurs, with the inclusion of the Raptor Pack and how it's different from the other movies. The Pteranodons and even the Spinosaurus were all great ideas on paper, but other than the Pteranodons, which were actually handled really well, I must say, they all feel incredibly wasted. Take the Spinosaurus. It killing the T-Rex, sure, I'm fine with if they want to do that, but at least make it believable. You know, show some respect to the dinosaur that made Jurassic Park as big as it is. Maybe do something that happened in Dominion of all things, where they have a little standoff and the loser walks away like an animal would. And you know it's bad because I'm using Dominion of all things as a positive, but damn it, it's true. They make such a big deal out the Spinosaurus, but they do nothing new until the very end. For the most part of the movie, it's doing what the T-Rex did in the previous movies. It's just running through the jungle after the people. It doesn't even use any of its new appendages for anything interesting. It's just once again chasing through the jungle, snapping with its mouth. Why not have fun with it? You know, make the attack the crew in the water, play with the environment more, maybe even adapt to the boat ride from the first book. Yeah, you remember the boat ride with the T-Rex, but instead of using the T-Rex, swap it out for the Spinosaurus. Just have fun with it instead of doing the very same thing you've done before. Also, can I just point out, this movie has stupid logic. Like, it's not even that funny, it's just really dumb. The Spinosaurus was strong enough to break a metal fence designed to literally keep it in, but can't break a wooden door. The raptors are so quick to kill the humans, but will hide behind containers to scare them. Billy gets attacked by pteranodons and sent down a violent stream, but somehow is completely fine with only a few cuts. From a franchise that used to be so heavy with themes and ideas, it's now just a cartoon where nothing makes sense, and it's not gonna try. So yes, to answer my question from before, it really is that bad. But god damn it, if it isn't fun. Yeah, despite everything that's happened, I can't lie, I had so much fun here. To me, this movie is so bad it's good, just like stuff like The Room. The ridiculous nature, the poor acting, the action, it's all so dumb, but it's so fun. I enjoyed my time watching it, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. This movie has been a punching bag for cinema for years. But you know what? I'm grateful for it, because despite it being a waste of potential, it still gave me a good time, and I enjoyed myself. And this movie has gone on to inspire new interesting ideas, like implementing newer dinosaurs into the main story, bringing in some more lesser known dinosaurs like the Spinosaurus and Ceratosaurus. So as much as we hate it, we gotta give it some credit. This movie is a fun thing to watch, with some friends especially. So even though I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10, because believe me, it deserves it, it's such a riot, and if you love bad movies, then you'll love this one the most. It's been the Pink King here. If you enjoyed the video, then subscribe. It helps more than you think, and you definitely won't regret it. And with that, I'll see you all next time where we finally move on to the Jurassic World franchise.
There was a sibling in case this one didn't survive infancy.
Where's the sibling?
She ate it.